Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you? You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look how they campaign. You know what they do? They audition.
Yeah!
When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them. Because you're in control. From the city to the state to Congress to the president. You run.
Good evening. This is Jerry Williams, Talk Labor. We're back again, and hey, so happy to be back. There's a lot going on. Most of the stuff that, is really lighting things up. You've seen it on television. I'm talking about nationally and worldwide with this clown that we have in there as a president. So you don't need me to go over that. But if you do, text me, talklabor@gmail.com. Text me and let me know, and I'll talk to you about that. I'll give you a little bit about it, but we got other things that we want to talk about. Of course, always what's going on with retirees and the coalition, and what's going on with the city, and what's going on, with the police departments and stuff like that. I try to stay away from the strike because I like to let people know. Give them an opportunity to work this thing out. And I know that if they come in and sit down and really talk with each other, they can get this thing done. I know that from experience. You go and sit down, it's not us against them. I'm saying this to the union. Go in and sit down and talk with the mayor's people. Find out where they are. Really where they are. And to the mayor's people, go over and sit and talk with the unions. And don't try little games. And I know one thing that was said was that some of the requests that the unions asked for was put into the contract, but it was not enforceable. That is an insult. This is to the mayor. Now, and check your attorneys, because if you do something like that, union people get insulted by that, because they know that it's ridiculous to put something in the contract that you can't enforce. Leave it out. Let's just be straight up with each other. So, hey, be straight with each other, because you're talking about good people on both sides. Go sit down and talk. It's not us against them. It's not my gang against your gang. Sit down and talk about it. I guarantee you'll come out and everybody be happy, including those beautiful kids. So let's get them back to work. Hey, you know what? For those of you who doubt, you got doubts about Trump being a crook and all that stuff, listen. The senior diplomat from Ukraine, William Taylor, came in and testified. Folks, that's it. That's it. You know what he said. He had every I dotted, every T crossed. This man is the biggest criminal in the world. You know what time of the day it is with him. And I don't have to talk to you about Taylor, who he is. He's an upstanding citizen that worked for every president since Ronald Reagan, Democrat and Republican. So he was just a great, great American. If you don't realize that this clown is in there for himself, he doesn't give a damn. I'm gonna tell you guys in the country, you white guys, I'm not gonna call you hillbillies or anything like that. He doesn't give a damn about you. He uses you as a tool to get what he wants. Okay? The way he does that, he tries to keep that racism going. For instance, at the border, he's telling people, millions of people are coming over here. They're going to take everything you got. And why weren't millions coming over when Barack Obama was in there? As a matter of fact, Barack Obama had it at a 50-year low with people trying to come in. He was sending them back. But he did it within the law. This guy here is trying to scare the hell out of you to get what he wants. Keep that in mind. So William Taylor this guy is, the testimony he gave, it's over with this clown. It's over. Now, one of the things that bothers the heck out of me, the Senate Majority Whip, John Thune, blocked passage of the Honest Ass Act sponsored by Senator Klobuchar, and I think he had one other sponsor. I don't even want to call this guy's name because he's the biggest flip-flopper you ever want to see, Lindsey Graham, but he did sponsor this. And that's to keep people from meddling into our election. It's a bipartisan bill. Do you know that this guy, Thune, wouldn't allow it to come to the floor? I mean, this is to keep, not just to protect Democrats, but to protect the American way of life, voting. This guy turned around and said, hey, no, because, crooked as it is, we're getting all we want, so the hell with the rest of you all. And, it's going to wear out. It's going to wear out. They're going to wear them down. So they went in and they voted, and they actually voted it down. I'm talking about the Senate. Totally, I mean, never seen anything like that in my life. But it don't surprise me now because greed do that to people. Greed actually do that to people. I want you to take a look at this picture here. It says criminal, racist, and rapists aren't coming from Mexico. They're sitting in the White House, Senate, and the Supreme Court. Take a look at this picture. And if that's not a true saying, I like to pass those on every chance I get because when I see them sometime, I glance right over, but when I see something good like this, I put it on, folks. This is something you ought to see. I want you to use your common sense, too. These guys can't fool you anymore. Everything that this guy in the White House is doing, we've seen it already. You saw the movie. You know everything about it, so he can't trick you anymore. It's not funny. It's dangerous to the country. So y'all stay on top of it. We're getting ready to impeach him. And people say, well, the Senate just is not going to kick him out if you impeach. That's okay. Then we kick the Senate out. This is the way it goes. Believe me, it works like that. They try to tell you, oh, that's not going to work. Let's kick the Senate out. Okay? That's what you do. Now, I want to take you a little bit, a little further into some of the things that's going on around here. I saw the other day that the police commander here in Chicago, was caught sleeping around, I think, 83rd and Laughlin, somewhere around there, in his car. He's lucky they didn't get him. Lucky nobody didn't see him. And I don't want nothing to happen to the man like that, but he was lucky that the gangbangers didn't see him there. Sleep. I think he was, in my opinion, he was intoxicated. But I don't know that. But one thing I do know, that they did not take him to, they did not give him a sobriety test, which should have happened. He did some things that, bothered the heck out of me. He said the murder of, and the killing of the young man with the baseball bat and killed the neighbor. He said the cop was justifiable when he did that. This kid had a baseball bat standing on his porch, and this man just turned around and shot him, target practice. Johnson said it was, he was doing his job. I'm not lying. He saw the video with Laquan McDonald. He was in the room when they were looking at it. He didn't open his mouth. He didn't say, this should not be happening, or it should be happening. And when they asked him about it, he said, well, it wasn't for me to say. Well, what the hell were you doing in the room if it wasn't for you to say? You see them murder this young man. You saw the murder, and you didn't open your mouth. And you the commander? Man, he's got to go. He's got to go. I want you to take a look at this. This murder that took place in California. Ryan Twyman was murdered. He was shot 34 times by the police in his car. One policeman emptied his gun and went to the trunk, got a rifle, and started shooting into the car. Will you tell me what the hell is going on here? They said he was a criminal. He had some unregistered guns in his house. In his house. There was no gun in the car. Nobody found anything, no gun at all. They just murdered this young man. Take a look at this clip and you see what I'm talking about.
The family of the man killed in that deputy shooting is now filing a lawsuit. KCAL 9's Tina Patel live for us outside the lawyer's office in Hancock Park. Tina?
Well, that family says that this is murder, that the deputies had no reason to shoot, certainly not as many times as they did. Now, for the first time, as you said, we are seeing the video. Were deputies justified when they opened fire against Ryan Twyman earlier this month in Willowbrook? The sheriff's department says that could take months to determine, but in an effort to be transparent, they are now releasing this security video of the shooting. It shows deputies approaching Twyman and another man as they sat in his car. One opens the back door and starts talking to the two men. Moments later, Twyman starts backing up, and the door hits the deputy as he accelerates. That's when both deputies start shooting.
In this case, the vehicle was used as a weapon against the sheriff's deputies. This incident resulted in a tragic loss of life.
But Twyman's family says it didn't have to. The deputies fired around 34 times, even though they say the 24-year-old father of three was unarmed.
After waking up this morning and watching this video, I have a clear view, that opinion that my son was murdered.
He was very respectful, and everyone loved him. His kids, his family, everyone. And we just want to see justice for Ryan, because this isn't the first one, and most definitely it won't be the last one.
The sheriff's department says Twyman was a convicted felon, and they had been looking for him since illegal weapons had been found at his home in April. That's why they attempted to stop Twyman when they spotted his car in the apartment parking lot. Investigators will be talking to the other man inside that car who was not injured in the shooting. His statements may help shed light on exactly what happened.
We do not draw conclusions about whether the involved department members acted consistent with our policies, our training, and the law until all the facts are known and the entire investigation is complete.
Now, the attorney for the Twyman family says this is not a black issue or a white issue. They say it's happening too often in our country, and that's why they had to file suit. The deputies that were involved in the shooting have both been reassigned to administrative duties. Reporting live, Tina Patel, KCAL 9 News.
You see what I mean? That is totally, did you see that? How they did that? They said, oh, he tried to run over him with the car. No, he didn't. He tried to drive away. And the law says, their law says, you do not shoot at a moving car. That's what the law says. That is so ridiculous till it's not even funny. It's not even funny. And when I see stuff like that, it just bothers the heck out of me. And I'm going to show it every chance I get. Every time they do this kind of thing. And I got to say that it's starting to take effect. It's really starting to take effect. Thanks to Colin Kaepernick for kneeling. He brought the attention, whether people like it or not, he brought the attention to the fact that they're murdering our people like we're not human. They're doing that. If you guys, anybody that's been following me for a while, way back, 2007, I was telling you this. I said, as soon as you start seeing the videos, you're going to see how they're murdering you. There it is. There it is. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a break. I want you to take a look at this right quick, and I got some very important things to tell you, coalition people and some of the other stuff. I'll be right back. Take a look at this.
Hey, man, let me get into this, because normally I like to play this game called Uncensored Rapid Fire Questions. And since you're my guest and you're the king of impressions, I want you to answer them as some famous people.
Definitely.
So the first one is Chris Rock. So here's the question, Chris. Would you ever consider running for president?
I mean, okay. All right, listen. At this point, anybody could be the president. Listen, I don't care. Listen, come on. I don't care if Flavor Flav runs, I'll vote for him. If he wins, and make Honey Boo Boo the vice president. I don't care.
Okay. All right. Eddie Murphy, let me talk to you, dog. How would you accept an Oscar?
Well, you know, what first I would say to these people, just hold on, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta say this. Why did it take so long? That's my question. I should have been had me an Oscar. You seen me. Y'all seen me. You seen me do Dream Girl? Oh, yes. 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 Oh, yes. Come on.
All right, Kevin Hart, I'm talking to you. Kevin, what movie are you upset that you didn't get cast in?
Listen, here's the thing, Steve. Here's the thing. Swear to God. Listen, Steve, the fact is, I do every movie, Steve. I'm everywhere. Listen, it's me, Dwayne Johnson, and Meryl Streep. Swear to God, that's all you get. You know what I mean? It's just that. Bop, 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 bop. So really, you know what? Steve, I want to thank you, Steve. I want to thank you. You know why? Tell you why I'm thanking you. I'm thanking you because Think Like a Man put me on the map. Bow, bow, bow. It did. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
They didn't think I was sexy before. Now I can walk outside, bare-chested. Everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God.
Jay Fair, everybody!
Okay, we're back. That's kind of funny, wasn't it? I mean, Jay Farrell and Steve Harvey. I thought the dude was kind of funny. This is kind of lighten you up a little bit. Okay, now, I want to talk to you about the coalition and the coalition news. And we got good news. We got some very good news. This thing is starting to wrap up. I got a meeting with the attorneys tomorrow. And we'll be talking about some of the germane things that's going on. But this is getting ready to wrap up. And when I tell you that, you know it's true, because I never tell you that it's getting ready to wrap up, right? But it is. It's been a long journey. It's been a lot of work, especially on my part. And my friend Ronald Roach, who's been with me 100% all the way. We've been in this a long time. Let me explain it to you again what happened. We had to file we attempted to file a lawsuit back in 2008. CTA then filed a lawsuit claiming we didn't have a right to file a lawsuit. We never got to trial. They filed a suit saying we didn't have a right to file a lawsuit. We had to fight with the union, because the union signed off on it. We had to fight, they were with management. So it took us going to circuit court, where we lost, but then we appealed to the appellate court. All this is taking time. I mean time, we're talking about years. We appealed to the appellate court. Appellate court ruled in our favor, you retirees. Ruled against the actives, which I think was wrong. So we appealed it to the active, to the Supreme Court, and CTA appealed our case, retirees, to the Supreme Court. Took more years. And Supreme Court ruled in our favor that we did have a right to file, because the union don't represent retirees. So they can't be making these decisions for retirees in the collective bargaining. But they do represent the active people. And if the union signed off on it, Supreme Court said, hey, you're just stuck. I think that's wrong. But they did it. They ruled for retirees against the actives. If I was an active person, I would have taken it on to the federal court, because it's not right. You can't do that. But it was done. So that took quite a while. The CTA's position is that the longer I make you wait, the more chance of you giving it up. And everybody, we only had a few people that started with us, myself and Ronald Rose. They did give up, they quit. But not me, never quit. Because I'm not gonna see, and my buddy Ronnie, I'm not gonna see people like the Chicago Transit Authority take money from innocent individuals just because they can. Just because they can. And they did it, even though it's violating the law. Now, after all that fighting, after taking all this time, my time, because I'm not getting paid for this, not my time, I hear my friend, Brother Roach, told me, said, well, one guy came up to us, hey man, where's my money? And when we gonna get it? I said, oh, Ronnie, anybody come to you like that, you tell them, yeah, Jerry Williams filed that lawsuit, but he didn't have to file a damn thing for you. So, where's your money? You better sit down and wait for your money. He said one young lady told him, and most people are very, very friendly, and they're very happy with what we're doing. But yeah, one young lady that told him that, well, you know, people are dying because we don't have the money yet. Well, they were gonna die anyway, okay? If I hadn't filed a lawsuit, they were gonna die and you never would have got a dime. But by me filing the lawsuit, we also having a lawsuit that their estate, that their share of whatever we get will go to their estate. That's what we got in that lawsuit. These are the type of things I'm talking about. So when you see me, people know. If you see me, say, hey, Jerry, how you doing, man? Appreciate what you're doing. How's everything going? And I will tell you everything I know. But if you ever come to me, you're going to get a rude awakening, okay? So just want to get that off my chest. When he told me that, I'm like, what? But you only got a handful of individuals like that. One young lady, her name was, what was her name? I never had any conversation with her, but one of the officers told me she's at the old country buffet. Well, now what's the name of that? Golden Corral, and she was saying that, well, why is he running the lawsuit for us? He's with 308. What she didn't realize is that the lawsuit is one lawsuit because the union with the pension is not only 308, but it's also 241. Also meant, when I filed it, I could have just filed for myself, but I didn't. Because I didn't want to see CTA get away with stealing people money. So when I filed it for Local 308, I filed it for, I included Local 241, and also included management. Anybody that retired was entitled to that money, and this was an attempt at theft. We stopped them, and we're about to wrap it up now. So keep this in mind. When we do wrap it up, I'm going to let you know if CTA comes with a proposal. I told you how that's going to work, right? All right, if you're not a member of the coalition, you'll get paid, but you won't have any say as to whether we take an offer or not, okay? If you're not a member. Okay, so that just about wraps up the coalition situation. We're talking about some of the things that's going on at that pension right now involving retirees. We're supposed to be on that board. We are going to get that. We will be sitting on that board, whether CTA likes it or not. We'll be sitting in conjunction with the union. The trade unions gotta go. They have no business sitting there. Okay? That's one of the things we're coming after. Jerry Williams, co-chairman of the National Infinite Scholars Program. And today we're having our college fair, our annual college fair here in Chicago. This is when we bring in colleges from around the country. And today we have about 70 colleges They're here to offer scholarships to our young people. We had overwhelming result of kids coming in today to reach out for the scholarship. This has been going on since 2003. Infinite Scholar was introduced in Chicago. We've been here for 8 years, and over the last 5 years, we've given out over $40 million in scholarship offers. That's not included today.
All right, we would like to congratulate Anthony from Crane High School with a full ride to Calumet College.
Bernice has a scholarship
To Talladega College.
to Colorado College
And Dillard University.
and Dillard University. So let's give her a hand.
Hi, my name is Ms. Ford. I work at Michelle Clark Academic College Prep, STEM, IB, all that good stuff. I brought a group of my students here to the Infinite Scholars Fair because we love this fair. We attend every year because our students rock out. They get scholarship dollars, they get acceptances, and they get the hope that they need to continue going forward and pushing towards their post-secondary goals. So thank you for having this fair. We appreciate you.
Congratulations to all of the students who have received scholarships. I am so proud of you all. I wish I would have known about this when I was a senior in high school. I would have hit the ground running. So kudos to you all for following through on this wonderful opportunity.
You don't see them broadcast this on television, but it is something that's a model. So just want to thank all the volunteers. Want to thank our founder, Thomas Osley, for introducing Infinite Scholars to us. But Infinite Scholars is where you want to be. This is the scholarship fair we have every year. Looking for you next year. As big as it was this year, we want it even bigger next year.
All I wanna do is run free. All I wanna do is run free.
Okay, we're back, and just a couple of things I want to. I want you to take a look at this. George Stinney, 14-year-old kid that was executed years ago for a crime he did not commit. You understand what I'm saying? 14-year-old baby. 5,000 votes they put in that kid's head. They had a trial that took less than an hour. They said he raped and killed 2 white girls, both of them bigger than him. And the weapon that he was supposed to kill him with was damn near heavier than he was. They found out all these years later he did not do it. They wouldn't let him talk to his mother, his father. They wouldn't let him inside. They wouldn't let him in the courthouse. Wouldn't let him talk to a lawyer. No, these dogs, and that's what I call them, these dogs, grabbed that baby and just executed him. But I'm gonna let you look at this. You take a look at this and tell me what you think about it.
He did not do this. He did not do this.
Supporters of George Stinney Jr. are celebrating the little things. The fact that after 70 years, a judge ruled the 14-year-old did not get a fair trial. He was convicted of brutally murdering 2 young white girls in 1944 in a trial that lasted just 1 day.
It was worth it. The time I put in was worth it.
The murders shocked the small Clarendon County town of Alkaloo. Mary Emma Thames and Betty June Binnicker were found dead in a watery ditch.
Now, may his soul rest truly in peace.
The effort to clear Stinney's name started a decade ago. Historian George Frierson heard about the case against Stinney, bringing years of research to attorneys.
I was born in Alkaloo. The stigma of having my birthplace attached to a travesty like this, it's kind of hard to swallow.
It's a legal Hail Mary, and it was caught in the end zone.
Miller Sheely is one of the attorneys who argued the case. He and other attorneys said Stinney's day-long trial in 1944 was not fair. They said his court-appointed attorney called no witnesses and filed no appeal. Stinney's parents were not present during questioning after he was arrested. Ultimately, Stinney confessed to the murders, but no record of that confession exists. Sheely says it was a 600-year-old legal argument that made the case as he and other attorneys presented evidence.
The judge's decision was that his constitutional due process rights were violated.
In her ruling, Circuit Court Judge Carmen Mullen writes that Stinney, who was black, was convicted by a jury of 12 white men, that his attorney did little to nothing in defending him, and that fundamental violations of due process exist. Stinney's sister, Amy Ruffner, says she always believed in his innocence.
I feel exonerated. I feel happy. I feel blessed. I feel, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I just wish my mom and daddy was here to see this day.
Stinney's family has left his grave unmarked, leaving supporters to erect this headstone over the summer. Now the engraving wrongfully convicted, meaning even more.
You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That bothers the hell out of me. I don't know about you, but it bothers the hell out of me. And that kind of stuff got to stop. This is America. Stop this old crap. Us against them and all of those stuff. Stop it. We done moved beyond that. Now I'm going to leave you with this gentleman here. I always like to leave you with something in the music field. I want to leave you with this gentleman here. I think he's one of the greatest artists that probably ever lived. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. But hey, listen, stay alert. You know, protect your neighborhoods. Watch out for things that may hamper you. Hopefully, you and your children. Hopefully, they get this strike settled soon. Okay. Hopefully, they have it settled before we come back and do another show. Because you know it's not helping anybody. And we're looking to have some information for you, some strong information for you on the coalition. Right now, the biggest thing that that we have going to court now is the class action. CTA is trying to challenge that. They're trying to say, hey, we'll pay you, Jerry, and the other two guys, but you know, we're not going to pay a class action. Look, chances of them winning that is very slim, very slim. And as soon as we get a ruling, I'll let you know on that, okay? But that's the biggest thing left. And after that, we're looking to go to trial. Trial it ain't gonna take no year, nothing like that, okay? All right. So, look, here's my guy. Some of you know him, some of you don't. Louis Armstrong. Y'all check him out. We're gonna see you again next week, okay? Talk to you then.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the skies, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow, they'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, What a wonderful
Tell me where we going. Don't you know you work for me? Don't you know you work for me? Yeah.